Venezuela has found itself back at the center of global discussion, this time following reports that President Nicolás Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores, were taken from Caracas to face charges in New York. While the South American nation sits more than 1,500 miles away from Belize, the ripple effects of what happens there have been felt much closer to home. Despite the distance, Venezuela's political drama continues to intersect with our own regional and national interests.
Belize and Venezuela, President Maduro and I, on behalf of Venezuela and Belize, have agreed on restructuring the terms for Petrocaribe debts, which will reduce the amount Belize owes under Petrocaribe by anywhere between Belize $267 million and $327 million.
Under the Petrocaribe agreement, Belize received millions of dollars worth of oil from Venezuela, a debt the country still owes. That 2022 debt restructuring was so substantial, it reduced Belize's debt to GDP ratio by 6%. Oil is the backbone of Venezuela's economy. The country holds the largest oil reserves in the world by a wide margin. That reality came sharply into focus after the U.S. removed President Nicolás Maduro and his wife, with President Donald Trump openly signaling America's interest in Venezuela's vast oil wealth.
We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in.
Was the ultimate goal to seize control of Venezuela's oil resources, and when the U.S. stepped up its military footprint in the Caribbean in 2025, was that part of the plan? The Monroe Doctrine, proclaimed by U.S. President James Monroe in 1823, was a U.S. foreign policy stating that further European colonization or interference in the Western Hemisphere would be viewed as hostile, while the U.S. would stay out of European affairs. Calvin Tucker, who works for Britain's only socialist daily newspaper, has witnessed 4 elections in Venezuela, including the 2024 vote. He believes what we're seeing now is the Monroe Doctrine re-emerging, stripped bare.
It states that the United States has the right to impose its will on its backyard, as it sees it, in Latin America, and to dominate not only the countries in Latin America, but to prevent its European rivals at the time from maintaining influence in the region. And the new Monroeism is a return to that basic philosophy and practical expression of naked U.S. military force.
The U.S. military buildup in the region was already underway long before any public talk of Venezuelan oil. Officials said the expanded presence was part of a broader effort to combat transnational crime. Year after year, the U.S. identifies Belize as a major drug transit country, with drugs trafficked from Venezuela.
This morning, early, around 12:30 thereabout, a truck was observed leaving Venezuela, heading our way.
And today, Maduro is facing allegations involving narco-terrorism and cocaine trafficking. The charges stem from a 2020 U.S. indictment claiming Maduro is the head of a drug trafficking group, Cartel de los Soles. But Venezuelan authorities have repeatedly contended that the cartel does not exist.
Maduro is accused of running a drugs cartel, the cartel of the Suns, and it's just been revealed by the New York Times in the last few days that in fact the U.S. Justice Department is no longer pursuing their case against Nicolás Maduro on the basis that he's leader of this cartel, because the cartel doesn't exist. It never existed.
Beyond the criminal charges, the United Nations has recorded serious human rights abuses under Maduro's rule, ranging from extrajudicial killing to alleged crimes against humanity and election fraud tied to the 2018 and 2024 elections. His government also had a long record of restricting foreign media. Still on Monday, the UN Under-Secretary General called for respect for Venezuela's sovereignty.
I remain deeply concerned that rules of international law have not been respected with regard to the 3 January military action.
As the fallout from Maduro's extradition continues and the U.S. expands its presence in the Caribbean, the stakes for Venezuela and the wider region are higher than ever. Oil wealth, sovereignty, and foreign intervention are tightly woven into a story that recalls both long-standing doctrines and modern geopolitical ambitions. Whether this moment signals real change for Latin America or a return to familiar fault lines remains an open question. So where does Belize stand on the issue?
We are a small country, and we are fully committed to, the fundamental principles that really underpin the global order, which are international law, multilateralism, a commitment to the UN Charter.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.